What's going on, everyone? It's Adam here from the Cruise Company, and today we've got another cool video because this is our second bull bar that we are releasing. This is for the 100 series. A lot of you have been waiting for this one because I just don't think there's many options out there for you guys. So we thought we'd bring you what we think is the best bar for this car. Obviously, the number one thing about this is that it is 100% Australian made, as you can see from this sticker right here. It's all 100% built right here in Victoria, comes in as a flat bit of steel and leaves like that, which is pretty cool. I've got a couple of little things I want to touch on first. This is our first prototype, so there's a couple small changes that are going to happen. One thing is the hoop shape is going to very slightly change. It's just going to come up a little bit to follow the headlights a little bit better. It's pretty good as is, but we think we can make it a little bit nicer. It's only about a 5mm adjustment, so you probably won't even be able to tell on camera. With the eyelets, we just don't quite have enough clearance when it came to actually building it, so we're just gonna adjust that a little bit because obviously you need those eyelets. Another thing is this 100 series has the 1HD FTE in it, and they actually have intercooler piping, which is down here. So this plate is going to be bolt on from now on so that the FTE guys can protect their intercooler piping, and then people with other motors, they don't have to bolt that on, so then they can have as much ground clearance, tire clearance, and just overall better approach angle, but the plate is still there for your intercoolers, so you can protect that piping. I think that's all the changes we're going to make. It's really not many, it's just minute things that I thought I would mention before we get into the video. All right, so getting right into it, obviously this thing is super tucked up. Gives you heaps of approach angle. There's still enough room for your low mount winch in there, and there's still access to it from here, from this hole, so you can do your free spool on and off. Really, this bar just suits the car. That's really our whole goal with these bull bars. We want to build bars that just work with the car. We don't want to build bars that look cool on their own. We want them to look good on the cars. And this one is definitely one of those things, because a lot of the 100 series bars, all the shape of them are just, they're really wrong in my opinion. So there's a lot of small details that allows this to really suit this car, just like this hoop here. In one of our very first test fittings, we actually had a straight hoop up and down. Decided we didn't quite like it, didn't really suit the car, so we're just going for a very slight lean back. And then when you're looking at it from the front, the hoop angle and the uprights, they all follow the shape of the headlight, which again is why we want to just raise this the tiniest of bits to make it even better. Then talking about this whole hoop area, this is probably one of the hardest bits to get right when it comes to the bull bar, when it comes to just the looks. We're really not a fan when the hoop is really high, because basically the front of a car looks like a face. So if you have the hoop really high, it sort of looks surprised. And if you have it too low, then it, again, just doesn't look right. So you really need to get it right smack bang in the good spot so it has a bit of an aggressive appearance, but not so much that we're doing like angry eyes, because that's just not what this car is. Then obviously looking at it from the side here, your approach angle is just the best that you're going to get with a 100 series. They're naturally sort of a low car in the front, the 100s, just because of the way the suspension works, which is why you need something that is as high clearance as possible. Not sure how much the camera's picking up from there, but you can see, like I can see the intercooler piping right here. That's what this bit of plate is for. This is 5mm, the whole thing's 5mm, we'll touch on that later, but yeah, it just really protects that there from rocks, just mud banks and just stones on dirt roads, things like that. So it's just really a guard for that piping. Then obviously when this is a bolt-on plate, if you remove that, then your tire exposure is going to be absolutely massive. So I think that's important for all you guys out there with the V8, and also all of our American friends who don't get this motor, unlucky. But yeah, then moving on to the wing here, obviously we've got our little folds here, we've got a little gusset on the back as well, so that's super strong. Something you may be noticing is this bulb seal here. Now it is tucked under the car here and it is in front of the car here. That's actually just how this car is from factory, because there is a trim piece that goes like that and does the same thing. It sits flush with the front, so we can't tuck the bar under in the front. And then over here, we don't want the wing sitting out, so we've gone underneath the fender there. Basically, we've just had to replicate that with the bulb seal. It's actually quite a good solution when you see this without the bulb seal on it. So something that a lot of you may not know, if your bull bar has a hoop, you must have an indicator in the bar itself. This is a Road Vision ADR approved indicator. We went for the clear ones because we just think that they look a lot nicer than just having an orange speck on your car. So the factory indicator passes obviously all the ADR tests, but those tests don't have a hoop in front of it. And even if it is just ever so slightly in front of it, it's still technically in front of it. So no matter where you put this hoop, if you're over there, like say if this was really far out, if you're over there, you're still blocking it. So that you're always going to be somewhat blocking it, which is why you need to have an indicator in your bar itself. Then just next to it, we've got these additional Road Vision lights. They're just a really nice addition to the bars. As you can see with the upright here, we went with the upright meeting the hoop underneath rather than over the top or in the middle. That allows us to have a one-piece hoop, which is the strongest way to do things. It also looks really clean. It's just one of the many things that contribute to the overall style of this bar. All right, so getting into the build quality of this bar, if you know anything about us, we make some of the world's leading rear bars. We make an awesome rear bar for the 100 series that this one actually has. It looks amazing. But basically we build all of our rear bars with 5mm steel and then 10mm mounting plates. And that is exactly the same formula that we have done with the bull bars. We just find the 5mm is far superior than something like 3mm. You see bars that use 3mm or 2mm or whatever, and they have to do all this fancy stuff to try and make it stronger. And that actually adds a lot more weight. I think you'll be surprised if you looked at the weight of some of those bars compared to this bar. This bar only comes in at 66 kilograms, which is extremely light for a full steel, full hoop bar. And I honestly think the reason why that weight isn't blown out is because we can use less material because the material itself is stronger. So all in all, it really just makes sense to do 5mm steel. Then with our hoop, this is what you guys probably know as fat tube. This is actually 60.3mm and it actually has a 3.9mm wall. So the thickness of the wall is very important. So if you are looking at other bars, I'm not gonna say any brands, but if you're looking around, just ask them what the thickness of the wall of their tube is. This is 3.9mm. That's very thick, therefore making it incredibly strong. I really like the fat bar look. The way the bar's designed, it really doesn't look that huge, but it just looks right. And then also being paired with it being extremely strong, I mean, it's perfect. Coming up to the top here, we've got obviously our aerial brackets. There's actually a spot for 4 aerials here, so there's 2 on each. If you're curious what this is, we're running the GME combo. These are just a simple laser cut and folded design. So it has the extra support that it's when it's welded to the hoop so that it won't go down and move like this and eventually break. And also, again, it being 5mm steel, it's just naturally a lot stronger and a lot less flimsy. So it's not gonna move around. They're definitely gonna be an extremely solid option. I can reef on these like insanely hard and nothing happens. As you see, that move the whole car. You're gonna be set with them. Then whilst we're just talking about accessories on the bar, if you're wondering what these are the 9-inch Road Vision, I believe they're Stealths. They look really nice on there with the covers. And also they're a true 9-inch, so there's plenty of room in between the hoop to fit any spotlight that you want, whilst also still allowing tons of airflow into your intercoolers and radiators and things like that. All right, coming down to the winch cradle area, which is I mean, probably arguably one of the most important parts about a bull bar. Something I want to touch on here and really embed in people's brains is the positioning of the winch is very important. You can't put the winch too high because ultimately you're pulling off of your rails down here. So if you put your winch up there, so imagine your winch is here and then your bar is mounted here. If you're pulling like that, it really wants to do this. Now for a short period of time, that's going to be okay, but do you really want to be putting that much pressure on your chassis rails? I've seen a lot of chassis rails on the front have damage from winches like that because you put an enormous amount of pressure on the winch, and then if you're putting even more leverage up on the bar and pulling it like that, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory that that's just going to cause issues. So the winch needs to be mounted at the chassis rails so that you're pulling directly from the chassis rails. It's the strongest and most reliable and most durable way of mounting a winch. This should fit any low mount. There is heaps of clearance in this bar. The 100 series just allows you a lot of room, so it's great. You can fit basically anything in there. And then obviously talking about the strength of what the bar needs to be, I mentioned it before, but the 10mm mounting plates. So 10mm steel that actually holds this bar on. In my opinion, there's really just no other option. Obviously another little bit of design here. We've got the laser cut TCC logo there, which looks really cool. And then obviously our super proud Australian made sticker, which you'll notice is actually on the product itself. It's not just advertised. There's a big difference between that. And also if you're looking for Australian made bars, don't be caught out by people doing a short run of stuff in Australia. So powder coat is another very important thing when it comes to all bar work. We do it all in-house. We're super proud of how far we've come with the powder coat. We've built our own powder coating oven. There's a real science behind powder coating. You don't just slap it on. So we're very happy with our finish. It's extremely durable. We use the best brand possible. We've powder coated thousands of bars now, and I think we've gotten pretty good at it. So what you're looking at here, this is actually texture black. Our standard color is satin black. This customer has all texture black bar work already, so we went with texture black. Texture black looks really good. I mean, it is hard wearing. I personally prefer satin black, but it's just a personal opinion. Texture black still looks very nice. I just prefer the shiny look of satin black. Now, I'm sure after watching this whole video, there's still that one question on your mind is, Adam, is this bar airbag compatible? Is it legal to have on my car? And 100% yes, it is. These bars are fully airbag compliant, so there is absolutely no worries. That's pretty much gonna do. I can't think of anything else to go over on this bar. If you have any questions, hit them up in the comments below. For full details on this bar, it is on our website. The pricing is on our website too. The pricing is directly in line with all the other bars on the market. Honestly, it's probably a little bit cheaper once you actually build out the bar, especially when you consider that this is Australian manufacturing and then the more expensive ones are built overseas. If you're watching this when it's first released and you have a 105, stay tuned. It's coming very soon. If you like this, you're gonna absolutely love the 105 bar because the 105 just gives you more clearance. There's less stuff in the way. So if you do like this, you're gonna be stoked with the 105. So coming very soon. And if you're watching this later, it's probably already released. So that'll pretty much do. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you in the next one.